okay, how are we doing? How are we feeling? How are we doing? I hope better since the last time we spoke. I can't. Well, well, I have on a red lip to match the bursted blood vessel in my eye. Thank you very much, America. Appreciate it. This is still, it's still a bit shocking for me, personally, but it's getting better. I think I know it's been a couple days, so I'm hoping that there's been some improvement in some of our moods. I haven't been on social media. I didn't go out at all yesterday. Like I had to hard stop on the doom scrolling, but I did go on YouTube and I came across some really kind of heartfelt words of encouragement, and it was from all different kinds of people. Like, I know I feel like this is just like something that is going to negatively impact minorities, but there's a lot of people that are going to be negatively impacted. And so it was really kind of comforting to see I am not alone. I am genuinely not alone. You are not alone. We are not alone in our kind of sadness, disappointment, what have you in the moment. I just want to say for me personally, journaling has been really helpful. Really, really helpful. Like, I'm quite literally, I don't know if you can see, no, you can't see over there. I'm surrounded by notebooks and they have all come in handy just to, it really helps me kind of sort through, and it's a helpful tool to help process my feelings. I think we're all feeling a lot. Like, I know for me, it was shock. It was shock, it was sadness, it was disappointment. And then yesterday, it was rage. I woke up angry, and then I saw I had a bright burst red, cherry red, tomato red, whatever kind of red, blood vessel in the corner of my eye because I was so angry. And yeah, so we went from we've experienced the whole kind of range of emotions, and like I said, I just wanted to stop doom scrolling because it wasn't helpful. Like, it just wasn't helpful. The question I asked myself was, what can I do in this moment to nourish myself? To nourish, not to fuel my anger further, but to like nourish my spirit. And it was a few things. It was one, staying off social media. Stop the doom scrolling. Just stop it. But when you stop a habit, you got to replace it with something else. So I have Hulu. I was on there watching all kind of stuff. I never really was a huge TV watcher until very recently because I did this last month where I tried to leave social media, and I did successfully for several weeks at least. But then as it got closer to the election, that's when I was like, what's going on? I know for me, rage feels more, or anger. I can't say rage because I haven't like punched a wall or anything like that. But for me, in this moment, the anger feels so much more comfortable than the shock and the sadness. The shock it was paralyzing. Like, I couldn't believe it. I There was no world where that was going to happen. And here we are. Here we are. And so now that we've kind of rode the waves of all the feelings, and we're in kind of an anger state, although I don't seem angry right now. Like, anger to me is very powerful. One of my favorite quotes that I've seen on the internet is I probably saw this on Twitter somewhere. Motivation works hard, spite works harder. And I don't know what it is about anger that Anger can be destructive. Let me be clear. Anger can absolutely be destructive, but there's also a point where it is helpful, because that's when you're like, okay, I got work to do. I know for me, anger is very clarifying, because when you're angry, you know exactly what you don't want. You are crystal clear on what you do not want when you're angry. And so I think that's the lesson that I want to share with you. Like, okay, we know we don't want now, but what do we want? I think when you journal, you tend to ask yourself these rhetorical questions like, okay, this is bad. It's not terrible yet, but at the end of the day, when I look at my vision board, is this stopping me? Is this moment going to stop me from conquering whatever's on my vision board? And for me, the answer is no. At least not yet. I think it's going to get more annoying. It may potentially get more difficult, but I know what I know. I know the odds are against me in some ways, not so much in others. But when I had that realization of like, listen, is this really going to stop what I'm trying to do? I don't want to be president. That was never in the cards for me. But like, I think the world is going to get scarier. Hatred has been for a while now, has been given a platform that it just hadn't really had in a long time. And to me, that's what is most terrifying, is like the underrepresented group, the marginalized groups, and how bad it's going to be for us. And one of the more powerful messages I got yesterday was from a drag queen. Her name is Luscious Massacre. She's been on YouTube forever. I want to say I started following her like before the pandemic even. And her words were always so comforting. Talk about marginalized communities. She lives in Brownsville, Texas. You know, we all know how conservative, religious, what have you, Texas is. And she's a drag queen. And she lives there. And her words are always so kind and affirming and uplifting. And her part of her message yesterday was, listen, a lot of us, especially melanated people, I don't know what her ethnicity is, so I'm going to say people of color. We come from people who have had to fight, and now it's our turn to fight. And that message really resonated with me. Like, we're being passed the baton. We're the ones that have to fight now. And I'll say this, that might be the case, but we also can't fight on E. Our gas, I know for me, my gas tank is on E. Like, I don't have it in me right now. We don't need to have it in me right now. Like, just rest. It's been a crazy, chaotic week. I have not gotten an ounce of work done. Like, my boss is depressed. I've had to cancel several meetings this week because people just aren't feeling it. And I'm not alone. You're not alone. We're not alone. Like, it's difficult. It's really hard to process, especially as a woman, especially as a Black woman. Like, this is such a gut punch to know, like, you can be that qualified and people be like, no, for whatever dumbass reason. So there goes the anger. But I like anger. I can do a lot. I made a whole movie fueled off some anger one time. A documentary called Nailgasm. Anyway, where was I? Lost my train of thought. Like, so Luscious Massacre was saying, like, people have had it hard since the beginning of time, especially in this country, and it's going to continue to be hard for a lot of us, and we can handle whatever comes at us. We can handle it. We're made for this. That's what she said. You are made for this. We are made for this. We got this. Yeah, it's going to be a pain in the ass. It was going to be a pain in the ass anyway. It was never going to be a walk in the park, no matter what. So yeah, that message was very comforting. I'm actually going to link below a couple videos that I found to be helpful, and I hope they're helpful to you. I really want my channel to be a light for people. I don't want to get on here and have like a pity party and be crying and shit. Like, that's just not the vibe. I'm not that person. I have been called toxically positive. That's fair. I just don't like sitting in despair and helplessness and powerlessness. Like, I'm not fucking doing it. I like to fight. I like to tussle, and I can't. I won't. My brain won't allow me. It's not even that I can't. It's like my brain literally won't allow me to just sit and like be sad about some shit. Thank God. So I'm a very functional. Even if I'm depressed, I'm functional. We keeping it moving, even if I don't feel like it. And so I've had to find activities to help move that along. And ironically enough, no, it's not really ironic. Like a thought occurred to me, like, you need to read up on Harriet Tubman. See if the library has a book you can read today. And lo and behold, it did. And let me tell you, nothing I'm going through in this moment is even remotely as bad as what Harriet Tubman repeatedly lived through. It started when she was a child. She was born into some fucked up situation, and it just kept going, and she fought and she fought and she fought, and she did a lot of good in the world. But my God, that woman, that talk about fight. I don't know if I like to tussle that hard, but reading about her journey, her struggle, her fight, I feel better. I feel like, okay, one foot in front of the other. We got this. So this was just supposed to be a quick check-in. Give yourself grace. Nobody's getting anything done this week. Rest. There's no shade in resting. I know some of y'all have like kids and other priorities and whatnot, but like, if you can rest, please do so. Go towards the light, whatever that light is for you. Maybe it's TV, maybe it's books, maybe it's spending time with your family, your friends, your chosen family. Cook, eat something delicious, go for a walk outside, go touch grass, as y'all love to tell people. Like, go towards the light, whatever that is, and refuel, recharge. We are gonna have to fight again at some point, but not today. I'm not doing shit today, I'll tell you right now. But it's coming. Fuel. Use this time to fuel. That's what I'm using it for. I'm gonna be reading like a mad woman. I'm going to be ready. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what kind of shenanigans we're going to see the next 4 years, but I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up before we even get started. So I hope you all have a beautiful, recharging weekend. And till we meet again, be good to yourselves. Be good to each other.